on Speed.
We're in the land of lobsters and steamers, and today not even a pennant race for the Boston Red Sox could keep racing fans away from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The Mod Squad going to battle at the Magic Mile, and today it's the New Hampshire 100 for the open wheelers of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Certainly not a picture-perfect New England day. 71 degrees, overcast skies, a very gray day here. But the key phrase, no rain, because rain was predicted today here in this part of New England. Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Dillner, and I have a mod squad of my own here in the booth today. Two-time NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion Jimmy Spencer and Daytona 500 winning crew chief Larry McReynolds. Now, if you've grown up here in New England and you're a racing fan, you know what modifieds are. But if you don't, you're in for a treat today. Because, Larry Mack, these cars are race cars. They're like missiles. They're like rockets with wheels.
Well, I think rightly so. They call them the ground pounders. And we think about Daytona and Talladega. We think about bump drafting and slingshots. These guys do it at this 1 mile racetrack because this is, quite honestly, it's like their Daytona 500. But I know a lot of the NASCAR fans, when you watch a race, you compare what do they like compared to a NASCAR Sprint Cup Series car. There you see, now we do run a carburetor restrictor plate here, so they're going to be over 300 horsepower down from Sprint Cup. But look at some of these other things. Roughly 1,000 pounds lighter, roughly about 13 inches lower to the ground, but a lot of tread, a lot of tire. You see right there, almost 12 inches wider of tread width. That's the reason these things go through the corner so good, and these cars handle it great here.
Now, Jimmy Spencer, I think Larry McReynolds hit on something big. This is the Daytona for these guys here at the Magic Mile. How important is it to get to victory lane here at Loudon?
I think, Bobby, you guys bring a great point up because all year long you race at Stafford, Thompson, Riverhead. You race all over the Northeast on the quarter miles and half miles. You come to the big one. You come to the Granddaddy, New Hampshire. You're racing Ryan Newman. And these guys come in and invade. He's tough to beat. These guys are not wanting them to, these guys are not wanting to lose to Ryan Newman again. I think this is going to be exciting. But for me, when I was running these modifieds, I look forward to the fall races in New Hampshire being one of them.
Well, we have a fourth member of our crew here on Speed today for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, the professor of modifieds, Dick Berggren.
Well, two of the top drivers expected to have a good shot at winning today are going to start deep in the field. Bobby Santos III, stuck in the airport on Thursday, practice and qualifying day. He didn't turn a lap, going to start deep in the field in 28th. His team has won the championship in this series 3 of the last 4 years. And Teddy Christopher, whose wife was injured in a work incident, also missed practice and qualifying. He will start 29th. Ted says give him 5 laps. He will be up to 15th. Let's see if he can do it.
Talked to Teddy Christopher right before we came up here, and he said, you know that commercial that talks about Mr. Mayhem? He goes, well, you know what? I'm Mayhem coming through the field today, coming from the rear of the field. And you can watch for your favorite driver and their starting spot on the top of the screen here today.
But the thing about this track, Bobby, even though it's high speed, you still got to be careful. These cars have a tendency to knock the toe in out quick. You got the wheels sticking out in the open. And even though that they're starting out far back, they got to be patient. They got to protect themselves. They will be using the draft. But I believe that Teddy and Bobby will be factors in being in the front before long.
And we have one onboard camera today, and it's a goodie here. Ryan Newman, the 77 modified. A lot of current controversy surrounding his win here that was actually taken away from him for an engine modification that was deemed illegal by NASCAR, but he wants to get back to victory lane. He also won at Bristol this year, Larry Mack.
Well, he's not been beat in the modified in about 2 years. He won all 3 in 2010. Again, disqualified here in July, but he also won at Bristol about a month ago.
By the grace of God and 600 horsepower, we are about to go green here at the Magic Mile for the Mighty Modifieds.
Look at that, 4 and 5 wide down the back straightaway.
And think about it, Larry. These guys are trying to get all they can get right now, and it's easier to pass a clump of cars rather than trying to get one-on-one.
You see that number 51 car, that's Justin Bonsignor from Long Island. He finished second to Ryan Newman at Bristol. He went way wide in that turn and lost a bunch of spots.
The thing you're going to see here, Bobby, is these cars start to move on the bottom. The modifieds are going to try to use the bottom group. They've got the width of the car, like Larry said. They are low center of gravity. They're going to drive in deep. brakes and tires are not going to be a big issue, as you will see on Sunday in the Cup race.
The battle for fourth right there, side by side, the 98 car of Eric Rudolph. And then we all know about that number 3 car. Jimmy Spencer, you've raced side by side with that car, all blue. A veteran, legendary car here. Matt Hirschman driving it here at Loudon.
And the thing about this car brings back memories from Freddie DeCero. I know I'm bringing back some old guys, but Freddie DeCero goes back with the late Richie Evans and Bugsy. So many memories that this car brings, and it's still the same old bowler number 3.
And I want to talk about what we just saw right there. We're starting to see these front bumpers lock up with the rear bumpers. In modified racing, that front bumper we call the chrome horn, Larry Mack, and here they do a lot of drafting.
Yeah, I've been watching Ryan Newman in that yellow 77 car on every straightaway. He's been going up there and giving Hirschman in that 3 a bit of a tap, because just like it works for the Sprint Cup Series cars at Daytona and Talladega, it will move you ahead and possibly give you what you need to complete a pass.
And this is like the calm before the storm right now. These guys feeling what their car is going to do. Ryan Newman in that 77 machine. He wants to win. He loves running these modifieds, Jimmy.
Yeah, you know, his father ran. And look at this great shot right here, the Bobby. This, to me, I just get my hair stands up on my arm, because this is the fastest car in NASCAR. And Fiends, this gives you, you can even see the carburetor linkage moving. Look at this guy, he's rolling in and out of the throttle, like you said, Larry, touching the car. This is a great shot right here.
Yeah, Ryan Newman said, this is one of the reasons I love driving these modifieds. I can look out there, I can see my front tires, I can see the engine, I can see the carburetor and everything going on.
And Larry, he told me this is like old school racing. This is back to basics, and you can see him moving to the inside of Matt Hirschman there, a battle within the top 5. We all knew that Ryan Newman was going to come to the front of the field, but at the same time, guys, this is kind of like Ryan Newman versus the world today. Every single one of these drivers wants to beat Ryan Newman, because he's come in and stolen the money so many times over the last couple of years from these tour regulars.
And what's amazing to me is that he is not wasting time. He did not give Hirschman a lot of room there when he went past him in 1 and 2. And you saw Hirschman lose the momentum. And here comes Zagany on the inside of Hirschman.
Take a look at that. That's a battle for the lead, a pass for the lead. Eric Beers to the front in that number 45 machine, past Ronnie Silk. Ronnie Silk second in points to Todd Zagany coming into this one. So not only does Silk want to go after the championship, he wants to go after the victory, but we got a lot of drafting going on right there.
These guys are even bump drafting in the corner, Larry.
What does that feel like when you get knocked in the corner here at Loudon?
You need to be careful when they start to bump draft in the corner, because you see that you are starting to see some cars move around a lot. The heat's in these tires now. The tires are at temperature, and we're seeing real close racing here. And the thing is you don't want to be bobbling, Bobby, because what will cause a chain reaction if you get the car too loose.
Ronnie Silk back to the front here at the Magic Mile. Rowan Penny in that 93 car. He's second. We can't keep track of the changes amongst the top 10 right now. And here comes Todd Zagany.
That's
that
points leader.
Number 2. That's right. He won at Lime Rock just a few short weeks ago. And here comes Matt Hirschman.
Well, Ron Silk in the 6 car, he knows with 3 races to go, including this race, only 12 points behind Todd Zagany. If he's going to win this championship, he's got to do what he's doing. We got to spin
Mike
spin it.
Stefanik going around. That's your 7-time NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion and your winner here at the Magic Mile in August. So trouble for Mighty Mike Stefanik there in that 16 machine.
Well, he starts under his own power, gets on his way. So don't really know what happened there, but the big thing is that I agree with you on this point battle, Larry.
Yeah, we stay green, no caution.
And back to the front, Rowan Penning to the lead. He's your 3rd leader of this race, and we're just 10 laps into this one.
That's very interesting, but Mike Stefanik was out of the way, and he did get proceeding on his own way, so he didn't really get help. I'll tell you what, we've got about an 8 to 10 car draft exchange bump and a lot of passing going on. You guys are right. A lot of excitement going on up front right now.
This is Rowan Pennick in the 93. You can see him doing the bump draft right there on Silk going down into turn 1, and he just takes the lead away. Remember, Rowan Pennick, he led the points for the first 6 races of 2011.
He did, and he actually finished 5th here earlier this year. Take a look at this. Back to the front goes Ronnie Silk with a slingshot maneuver by that 93 machine. A battle of 2 of the top up-and-coming stars here in the modified ranks.
And I think they're figured out the draft. Every time these guys race, this is where they learn the draft. And these guys are working that draft to the utmost. We saw Pennick pass Silk, Silk pass it back.
Ryan Newman looking to the outside. Ronnie Silk is your leader right now. 100 laps the distance for the Mighty Modifieds today. Look at those big old wide tires here at Loudon. We'll be back in a second.